what I've heard and I find quite plausible is, remember I said the implication of having infinite computing is that you can simulate everything in the universe,
Yeah.
but can it simulate itself? So I want to digress into what's called complexity theory. There are two different types of difficult things. There's like a complex thing, like building an Airbus 320. It's very complicated, right? You can do it if I give you all the parts, all the instructions, give you the right order, and I keep you energized. Like anybody can follow those instructions and make it. The Earth's weather pattern state right now is complex. There's no way that you can actually create that. Like you would need another planet-sized thing to create that. That's called irreducibly complex. You cannot make it simpler and then build it up from simpler and simpler things. Unlike an Airbus, you can build it up from smaller and
Mhm.
smaller parts. And as long as you follow the recipe, if you follow the recipe for the Simons Observatory, you'll get the Simons Observatory.
Mhm.
But if you try to simulate, and it may be that simulate the weather, you do need another planet. Like we need another planet, just like the Earth, and then we'd introduce carbon dioxide at a certain rate, and we'd see, is it really going to cause it? But like that's totally impractical, right?
Mhm.
So the question of these things um, is it really a simulation? If it's not 100%, like you could make a very, very good weather simulation. We do have that, but famously they're only accurate for a few days, right? So how do you build up, an accurate simulator? It have to be the same. So in other words, do we need like another? Is there another universe where the simulators are that's equally complex to the simulation creation that they made? And then did they stop? Like, did they get? Are they made of silica? Are they artificial? Are they so there are proposals that you could detect the presence. It's kind of like you mentioned the Truman Show, where how all computers work right now is on this binary code, zeros and ones, 5 volts, 0 volts. But and that means that the world is fundamentally discretized. It's broken into little chunks, like the screen on your computer or your iPad. It's pixelated. In space, it would be called voxels, volume elements. And so you can have a large number of them, but it's a big difference between a large number and infinity. To really have a continuous, temperature is continuous, like go from 0 degrees to 100 degrees, and there's every step in between. But in the simulated world, because you need an infinite number of computer power to simulate just from 0 degrees to 1 degree, not let alone from 0 to 100 or every possible combination. So at some level, you'd see if you zoomed in really close on the thermometer, you'd see there's a little jump.